Hello and thank you for joining me for this review of the board game. Welcome to Sysifus Corp. It's designed by One Min Lee and published by Pegasus Games, I believe in New York City. Since I'm doing a review, that already means I think this is a good game. But I would like to clarify, if I don't make a review, it doesn't mean I don't think it's a good game. Actually, every single video I've done a tutorial of, I think is a nice game. It's just that a lot of games have plenty of reviews and not as much tutorials. And since I prefer to focus on explaining games in my videos, I focus more on that. And it's when a game doesn't have, well, barely has any other reviews, then I'll happily do one. And in this case, the game was also gifted to me by the publisher. Thank you for that. So that's another reason to make a review out of it. But again, if I didn't like it, then I would send the publisher a message saying, I'm sorry, but I don't like it, so I'm not going to do it, which is not the case here. Luckily, it has never been the case so far. Yeah, let's get to it. If you'd like to see what everything looks like in the box and how you play it, I've got separate videos for that, so if you like, have a look at those. So now we can talk about the game. Let's start with the actual physical stuff, the box, the components. Everything was good. The quality was slightly better than I've seen in some publishers who are huge. So yeah, I've had games that I like the game, but the very first time I opened the box, it already ripped because it's so thin. I don't really understand why a publisher would want to do it, other than that it's the cheapest way of doing things. But well, if that's how you want to sell your product, this one doesn't. Welcome to Sysifus Corp is made of good quality. It had little player figures that to me were a unique design, just these little people, a head and a body, 2 arms, 2 legs. Yeah, I like that. The little player board, not the main game board, but the little player board that you can have with you for yourself, on which you do the actions, also has basically all the important information on it. So yeah, well done. The rulebook, well, before I get to the rulebook, actually, the theming for me already started when I opened the package that this box was in, because it had this box and some crumpled up paper, which first seemed like packaging material, but then it turned out to be a company letter, deliberately torn up and crumpled, because the game was sent to me as a gift from that company that just recently hired me. And it's, I'll read a bit. It's from the bosses from Sysifus Corp. Dear employee, it is with great pleasure and pride that we welcome you to the great Sysifus Corp family. We would like to celebrate this milestone in your life with a special gift that will help you be more productive for the company. And then it says a bit more, but it also has liars scribbled over it in pen. And then a second handwritten note that just warns you about by someone who sent this package, saying, don't fall for it. This is not how it actually works. Big companies will tell you, you as an individual are important and you matter to us, but they have no idea who you are. So you can do your job really well, or you can do it mediocre, and it won't make a difference in how they notice you. Of course, there are some exceptions, and I'm talking only about the big companies, not the small independent ones. So I did agree with that. Plus, I thought it was really funny that I was already in the theme while this game was still wrapped in plastic. So nice. The rule book as well. It wasn't a rule book. It was an instructional manual for a new employee. So yeah, really well done. It was also well written, well explained. I only made one tiny mistake in the tutorial that's written in the video description. Sorry about that. But yeah, it was clear, short, and plenty of visual examples as well. Um, then the box says 10 to 20 minutes per player. I think that's a correct uh, assessment because we played it with two, and I think we were done in 30 minutes for the very first game. So yeah, I think that's about right, and I think that adds to the excitement because it's also a race game. You have to get to the four corners of the main board in any order that you like, and then race back to the starting position. Yeah, and if that takes too long, it takes out a bit of the thrill. So yeah, it's good that it's not too long. It also says for ages 14 and up. Now that I don't agree with. Yes, it is definitely enjoyable for people from 14 years old and up, no doubt. But I think they could be a bit lower, even at least 12 years old, because it's not a simple board game. But I think well, younger people can handle more than we sometimes might think. But in this case, it's definitely doable with rules. Also, everything is written there on the player board, so you have that information with you constantly. Plus, I was aware that when I was very young, that I was looking up at all the adults that would go to their job and talk about their job, and think like, oh, that's so cool. I just want a job. I don't want to go to school. I want to also have a job. I have no idea what job. Having a job is cool. It's what I want. And yeah, recently someone was talking, saying, "Oh, remember when I was young, when we were young, that we would all think that having a job was so cool, and now here we are." And I thought, "Oh, so I'm not the only one who had that idea." So young people do think. Some young people have the idea that having a job is super cool. So here you have this game where you can be an office employee. So that might be an extra reason why I think younger players would be interested in that as well. Of course, it's a good element that you're not just working at an office. I don't know how often that theme has been done, working at an office. I don't really see it that regularly. But it also has the element of just undercutting your other players while they're racing as well. You can change the board, so block them and help yourself. So and it's not easy. So it has a tiny bit of a luck factor in the bonus cards that you get, but the power of the bonus cards does seem balanced to me. So it's not like one player has something that can wipe you off the board and you have got this one card that does nothing for you. So yeah, that's well done, and the rest is all strategy. It's yeah, keeping an eye on what your own goal is, and also keeping an eye on the other players. Try to cut them off while at the same time bringing you closer to the goal. So I enjoyed it. Not too long, not very. It's not a 20-minute game. The bigger the group, the longer it will take. And easy to learn, but not simple. It does have some complexity, and definitely the fun element of doing everything, you and the other players. How do you balance it all on your way to your goal? So I enjoyed it. I would say the the game comes with one option to make it a bit more difficult by having these cards. When you reach one of the corners, that you can take a card that has some special ability on it. I would say don't play it without them, because I don't think it's that much of a step up from yeah, what the rules already are. So anyway, but that was it for me for Welcome to Sysifus Corp. I really enjoyed it, and it definitely deserves a bit more attention. If you feel like it, watch my tutorial. It's not that long, just as long as this review basically is. And if you're not in the mood for that, just go to online to find some information of this game. So far, everyone else also seems to be positive about it. So give it a chance. I enjoyed it, and I hope you will too. And also thank you for watching this video. If you want to leave a comment, go right ahead, and hope to see you for the next one.